Now, Teresa, I want to close by going to do what's called a rapid fire questions, okay? And as a consultant, I'm just going to, people who are listening in, and so I'm just going to go through about 5 or 6 questions, rapid fire, and you tell me and give us the answers of what you think fits best. Do you want to look good, or do you want to make a difference?
Make a difference.
When was the last time you let your guard down, and was it fine?
Depends on the occasion.
But when was the last time you let your guard down? Like, I'm just going to be myself, that kind of thing.
When I'm with especially with people that I'm very close with,
right?
They can see the worst of me. It doesn't matter because they love me after all.
Wonderful. How comfortable are you in your own skin?
Very.
Would you feel happier if you achieve great success through a fabricated image and celebrate with many raving fans, or if you achieve some success through your authentic self and celebrate with a circle of people who accept you for who you are? Which would you choose?
The second one.
Yes, of course, isn't it? Because that's you. That's Teresa Dian Chew. What benefits can you gain by allowing the world to see and connect with your vulnerability?
Can you repeat?
What benefits can you gain by allowing the world to see and connect with your vulnerability?
Well, basically, to show them that I'm just a human. I'm just like them. That I can be very vulnerable, and yet I survive.
Powerful. Finally, what would it look like if you're totally unaffected by criticism and allow your true self to express itself in the world?
Well,
what would it look like?
Yeah, it needs a balance, because if something, it must come from the trusted source. If it comes from the trusted source, basically we take it in, we analyze it, we try to improve. It depends where it comes from. But I always encourage myself and people that I know to say, any feedback, whether it's good or bad, don't jump, don't get upset. Take it in, ask, why did they say that? And from which source it comes from? So we cannot get upset all the time. We must analyze. And that's where you need a very balanced mindset, because a lot of time, if we're very easily get agitated, we lose control. So self-control is good image.
Hey, fantastic, fantastic. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic. It certainly has been for me for the last 35 years as a plastic surgeon, and it's all to do with about image. And what does the world see in you, or what do you see in yourself, matters. Recently researchers have found out that first impressions matter. So image is powerful, but image can also be superficial. And how your image can perpetuate your inner life. If you're unhappy in your situation around you, it does not bring any joy to you, it will show in your image. And importantly of all, it affects your confidence. Self-confidence is the most important element when it comes to image. And you cannot inherit it, but you can certainly build it. So how can changing your image transform your life and enable you to experience the best version of yourself? My guest today is an international award-winning image consultant. She's the founding principal at the Refinement Institute, which is a school that changes lives and society. And most of all, she's the author of the bestseller, The Image Factor. So join me to welcome Teresa Dian Chew right now.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Charles, for having me on this platform.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure.
But you know, in my practice as a plastic surgeon, image has been a big issue and a big theme in everything and everyone that walks through my doors. So I want to congratulate you on your book, The Image Factor. And I'm sure it's turning lives and creating waves. But you know, when I was preparing to talk to you, I was singing this tune by Lionel Richie. I don't know whether you remember, where he sings about the lady. And I wanted to introduce you as Lady Teresa and give you the prefix, because the song goes, you know, lady, I'm your knight in shining armor and I love you. And you know, if you have the right image, the guy and the man in front of you will feel like a knight. And that's the perfect relationship when it comes to image and yourself. And even, you know, I remember growing up and in the 80s, Chris de Burgh, I don't know whether you remember the song Lady in Red. And he was, yeah, you do. And he was writing about his wife. I mean, you know, he met her and saw her first time in a bar, in a nightclub, and she was wearing red. So image is important because it defines the moment and it also defines you. So your book, you write this, and I've got it quoted here, so I'm going to read it for our audience. Time is the true luxury. Money is simply a reward. Reading your book can help to unleash your imagination and awaken your senses. It helps you to have a clear description of who you are, who you aspire to become, what to achieve, and you have a clear sense of direction on how to get them. So, what made you write the book?
Oh, thank you, Dr. Charles, for introduction.
Call me Charles.
Charles, thank you. By the way, I started this book. I have been in this line for more than 15 years. It's about 17 years altogether. Happy my journey in life and been through many highs and lows, just like everybody else, in professional life and personal life. Basically, over the years, when I was in my corporate life, I've gone through many challenges on how to be successful, how to climb the corporate ladder. And of course, during our early days, we met many, many people as well. I studied abroad and I lived and worked abroad for about 10 years as well. So the people, the diversity of people that I met is a lot in terms of culture, in terms of languages, in terms of the way they think. So I have to grow very fast in order to live, to survive. So it is part of my journey in life. And obviously along the way, I met leaders across industry. They say things that really, it was my aha moment to say that, Teresa, if you need to grow, you need to continue to evolve. If you're in Rome, you've got to behave like Rome, and so all these things. So basically, through my many years of living abroad and working abroad and coming back to Malaysia many years ago, it took me some time to settle in. But the good thing is whatever I learned from outside, I am trying to use it to share with my communities around here and the people in Malaysia, and it works because it works for me. So if it works for me in the corporate world, I have already climbed the ladder and touched the ceiling. So I told myself, if it works for me, I believe I can help many people, the young,
Sure,
the more senior one, and to reach the goal, the dream that they want to have.
okay. Let me just pause. Let me just pause you there. When you say that it helped you, in what way?
Well, coming from this part of the world, when you go to the West, to start with, the culture is different. And to fit in, there are many things you got to readjust. So when I was much younger, you really have no idea, no roadmap on what to do. There is no guide in those times. So the only way is learn through day-to-day experience. Basically, when you fell down, you get up again. And how you get up, along the way, you do meet some good people tell you, Teresa, you do this, Teresa, you do that. So it is my learning curve that along the way, when I listen, first of all, you listen. Success is about being humble. When you stop learning, you don't grow. So basically, I learned to step number one is to listen, to be humble. To be humble is to learn. And if it comes from people who really care for you, you take it in and then you follow and then you improve. And that's how I go in the corporate years in overseas. I began to grow my climb my corporate ladder very quick and very successfully. I get promoted. And I keep learning. So that is what I told myself, okay, it works. So I continue to start from there. People say something come from people that you can trust. It must come from people you can trust. Then you analyze, you say, yes, I should try. And when you try, if it works, you say, yes, what is the next step? So this is how I learned. So I have done that for many, many years in my corporate experience and then in my personal life too. So many things I have learned. Some, if it didn't work, I get feedback from people that I trust. I say, what do you think? So listen, getting feedback is so important.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you because, when they come and see me anyway, they kind of like listen to what my advice would be. But in the corporate world today, I'm sure that if you have done that, this has been a world for you for 20 years. And obviously culture has changed, demands have changed, society has changed. And so people are evolving, especially now in this today's world where everything is so digitalized that they spend less time on themselves and more time, in the digital communication world. So what I want to take you through is what aspect that you found in yourself growing up through this world to become an image consultant. What aspect in you, in that corporate world, worked for you? Was it your styling? Was it your clothing? Because I'm going to go through, like a doctor, I'm going to dissect it out. Because somebody walks into your place, I mean, is it because of their first appearance, or is it because they talk like they're selling along this like hawker's stall, or is it communication? There's so many aspects to image. But for you, what was that area in your life that you made, wow, when the moment you're in the room, you impact everyone around you? Because I'm going to go through 3 pillars. And of course, the first one is, how can image change how you feel about yourself? Which is very important because you cannot live for the world, you have to live for yourself. And everything that you're teaching, and I'm going to go through your book, is about the inner world. Because when the inner world is right and at peace, it reflects in the person. So your journey is important. Many people who will listen in will want to know, Lady Teresa Dian Chew, what was it in you that would make a room just go silent and your presence is felt? What was it? Was it your poise? Was it your attire? Was it the way you groomed yourself? Just give me one.
Okay, to start with, Charles, image is one of the most overlooked secrets of success.
Absolutely.
Because it is something intangible. You can feel it, but you can't see it. Now, image actually to a lot of people is very superficial. As you correctly introduced just now, a lot of people think of image is just something that you dress up, you make up, your hair do, or just like cosmetic surgery, you go and look like some film star. It's just superficial. But image is more than that. My first module in everything I do, from coaching, training, mentoring to my book, the first step is always about getting to know yourself again. It doesn't matter whether you are 16 years old, you're 61, 71, it doesn't matter, because life is a journey. Right. As I mentioned just now, anybody who wants to continue to grow and evolve and be fulfilled, we must continue to grow, because the world is changing. Yes. If we don't grow, we stop. When we stop, we're left behind. Now, image is about perception. How we see ourselves is so important, and how others see us is important too, because it is not just, we are not just by ourselves in this world. We're not living in an island. We have diversity of people revolving, doing things with us. And why the successful people are successful? Because of the way they understand what image is. Basically, self-image is about how you talk to yourself. Why people during a situation, difficult situation, they go into mental stress? Because mentally, they did not have the opportunity to, think too much about it, or address seminar, or read books, or somebody whom I was lucky enough along the way, got a lot of people like tell me this and that, whatever. So self-image is about whether you tell yourself, Teresa, you're beautiful, or Teresa, you're really ugly. Growing up, I was one of the most ugly children in the whole family. Everybody said I look different, so dark, so small, hair so big. But I'm being a very positive person when I was young, because I'm basically, by nature, I'm an artistic person. So artistic person, sometimes we think differently, we think out of the box. So if people tell me I'm not good, I say, why am I not good? I must analyze, I must find, why am I? So basically that was me by nature, we're different. So basically self-image is about how you tell yourself. If people say, you're not handsome, Charles, and then you take it in, you don't do anything about it. And then you look at the mirror, you keep thinking, I'm not good looking. Nobody likes me. And that is toxic. And that's why a lot of people take it in. They keep telling themselves, I'm not handsome, I'm not beautiful, I don't look beautiful, I cannot wear anything, nobody likes me. And that's where people get into mental distress, because depression and stress are two different things. Stress is healthy if you know how to address it. Because
Right.
without stress, life is like living in a la-la land. It's not good, right? But when you have stress, but if you have enough sufficient tools and knowledge to say, okay, I'm stressed today, I should not be sitting in front of the computer. I should go out there and maybe do something else. So you have a way to get out from the stressful situation. But if you do not know how to, you continue doing what you do, people realize you go into second level of stress and gradually more stress. Because in my career, I do meet with some people who are almost suicidal.
Yeah, sure.
They call me, and some are about to go into depression, and they call me. So of course, many times I told them, let's meet face to face, because this sort of thing, Zooming is temporary, but face to face is more up and personal. Because when people go into mental stress, they really need somebody to really listen up and close, from facial expression to body language and all that. So basically, it is very important.
Yeah, so you're taking my first pillar of conversation, and that is very important, and that is how thoughts are a constellation of, when you're thinking, it's a constellation of thoughts, and thoughts become a narrative. And what you're saying is that many people, including myself, have built a narrative, and that narrative can either be positive with a lot of confidence, or it can be negative and self-defeating. So when someone walks into you, and I'm talking about this first pillar about not being right with themselves, not being at peace with themselves, not being comfortable with themselves, what aspect in your toolbox do you address first? Okay, you've had your consultation, you know they're in the pits, and so what image would you go for to help them come out of it, other than counseling and giving them all that? Well, what do? Take them to pavilion?
But the fact is, I always tell my audience or my clients who walk into my office or my studio, I always say, I have to dress you from the inside before I dress you on the outside. And the first thing is that I need to sit down with them and have a conversation with them, relaxed conversation. Within 4 walls, it's all confidential. Whatever it is in their heart, in their mind, whatever stress they have, they can say it out. And most of the time when I open this topic, it always become very emotional because a lot of people, they do not have the right person for them to say it to the right person, and someone who really can take it in and digest it and don't have to say much. But the 2 words that you bounce back with them is so important. So that's why it is very important to talk to a neutral person, to talk to somebody like your sibling, sometimes too much of emotional attachment, or your husband or your wife, because it's too much of emotional attachment there. So therefore, a person like us who is like a neutral person, we basically, we do not know the background, but just that we listen. And because we are trained to analyze, I'm not a psychologist. A lot of people thought, Teresa, are you a psychologist? I say I'm not. But basically, sometimes people like us, image consultant, we do learn body language. So body language is the psychological aspect of image consultant. Artistic aspect is the image, the dressing, and all that colors. That's artistic. It's all good. But the psychological aspect is so important. So I deal with the inner, the psychological aspect, the inner voice. That is somebody talking to themselves. And once that is sorted out, they understand why they are telling themselves this and not that. By talking to a person like us who is like professionally trained, it gives them a light bulb moment and say, oh yeah, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So we open up your mind. So that is the first step. And that is the toolbox. Then we go into, do you know what actually you want to do in your life when you were like 12 years old? A lot of us has forgotten because of all the things. And then we go into, do you know what do you like? What do you believe in? What is your value? You know your purpose in life, and this is the why. So we go into the why. Why are you here? Why are you on this earth? A lot of people lost hope because they lost their why. They lost what is their purpose on this earth. So this is so important as the foundation of image building and branding and whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because for me, in what I do in my practice, before the why comes the what, because I find the what is more important, and that is, what are you doing wrong now that has got you into that situation, and then they go find the why. Because if I don't get the what right, I can't solve the why, you see, or why they're coming to see me. So the different aspect of image, and because we do body makeovers, face makeovers, you know what I mean. And you'll be amazed that I got a lady who walks in and she's wearing such a loose dress, like a sarong, and after I did a tummy tuck, 3 months later, she walks in with a Laura Ashley dress. And it's amazing how it changes the whole character, the poise, the confidence in the person. I think, it brilliantly said, and I want to thank you for that. Now, you've gone through 11 habits of classic poise. That's your mantra that runs through your book. And that's a lot of habits to follow, huh? 11 by the time you come out as a classy person. But I want to talk to you a little bit about, as you mentioned, self-knowledge, because the recent studies that have come out by organizational psychologists who say that a lot of people think they have the knowledge, but actually they don't. When they talk about self-knowledge and self-awareness, I think the key is self-awareness today. So as an image consultant, if you look through the last 20 years of this work or whatever you're doing, how aware are people today? Because the Asian culture, the Asian people who are walking through your office, quite different from those who walk into the in the other parts of the world, because they're so knowledgeable. I get ladies who walk in here and they show me photographs of noses of some celebrity, you know what I mean? And they actually got nothing up there. They just got pictures which they follow. So self-awareness, what's your views on that? Because you got it in your book here. Knowledge. How important is knowledge of what image is all about to your clients?
Well, basically, a person needs to know about themselves. I mean, I want to look like Beyonce or Jennifer Lopez. First, I must know myself is what is my value to start with? What is my belief? Does my personality fit into the entertainment world? Am I able to go on stage? Because many of us, we are not shy when we're out there because we have to do the job. But when you sit down to many of us, we're actually introvert. But sometimes people tell me, Teresa, actually I'm an introvert. But when I'm out there, I have to become extrovert because I have to do business. So a lot of this, whether you call it image consultant, a lot of us are our own image consultant. We're born to become image consultant. You wake up in the morning, you know, today I'm going to wear black, I'm going to wear white. So we are already an image consultant. Just that to start with, knowledge is about how well you know your body type. If I go to Dr. Charles, I want to have the body shape of Marilyn Monroe.
I send them to the supermarket.
Yeah. So basically, first of all, we basically measure the body line of our client and say your body type is this, and your shoulder is level. You can wear jacket very well. So basically, we measure, and then your neck is quite thick, or your neck is long, so you can wear high collar. Or your hair, your face shape is round or square, so therefore you should wear this type of hairstyle. So basically, we make them understand. We measure them, and they can see their own measurement and say this is what they are. So it's not like we make out of it. So this is self-knowledge. So when they have self-knowledge, I say basically now that you have self-knowledge, we're going to share with you what are the clothing line. If you wear a jacket, is it the British cut, European cut, Giorgio Armani cut, or the American cut more suit your body type? Then you say, oh, right. Then we will say, okay, you go to this tailor or that boutique, you will find your kind of tuxedo. Uh-huh. So basically, to start, this is the self-knowledge. Then you don't waste money to buy the wrong clothes. Why a lot of time we buy so many clothes and we don't wear. And then the colors as well. We love black because black makes us look slimmer. This is perception. And most of the time we say not right. Sometimes black makes us look larger, right? If your background is white, you look larger. No, that sort of thing. So we have to understand ourselves first. If my skin tone is this color, what is the best color that brings the radiance out from my face? Everyone is born beautiful in this world and handsome in this world. Everyone is unique. No, everyone is handsome and beautiful. Just that the color choice, the clothing line, the mindset, the attitude, because a lot of time, beauty comes from within. A lot of time, when it comes to relationship, many men and women do ask me, Teresa, I can't find the right partner. I say, you have one. It's hanging there somewhere on the tree. Just that you got to package yourself in the right manner, the right package, the right location, and the right goal. And what type of men or women you have in mind that you want. Then you got to be there in the right package. You know, then the right audience will spot you. So basically, it is about life. Actually, what we do is about life.
Okay, but the package can be totally different when you finally end up opening up the package, because there's so many people whom I know who have actually thought that this is the right package, and then when you finally start peeling off all the layers of the onions, they don't match what the package looked like. So I think that what you're saying from the beginning was addressing yourself, paying attention to oneself first, self-knowledge, knowing oneself first, before you wrap yourself up with Christmas paper and then you find the gift is not worth 2 cents, you know. And then the second point that you came to, which is on my list with you, is about perception. Now, as an image consultant, I mean, you touched about it just now, self-perception and what people outside perceive you. Which is more important as an image consultant? Did you get my question? So
I do.
how do I perceive myself compared to what others think of me when they look at me? I mean, we all know about impressions and all that. Because, for example, like somebody will come and see me in a consult, and because of my character, I'm pretty strict and I'm pretty firm. And then they'll walk out and tell my staff, "Itu Dr. Banyan Garamo." You know what I mean? So they can perceive me in a totally different way when actually I'm talking sense. And I'm trying to be firm that, you know, when you come and do eye bags, I tell them straight, side effect is blindness. And then they go out, you know, getting, you know, sometimes. So what I'm coming to is this: you're a consultant, somebody walks in, and so you're talking about perception, you know, and I think if I perceive myself, like you said, as somebody with low energy, they think that they can't do it. No point putting on a package of dressing and all that, when inside they're really, you know, with low energy kind of people. They go out there and they'll kill themselves in the climate we're living in. So if you put two and two, talk to us about that. How important is what people perceive you, Teresa, as opposed to how you perceive yourself first? Put that equation for us.
Life is about choices.
Right.
We made a choice. I made a choice. I want to become image consultant after about 17 years in my corporate years. I can be comfortable there, but I make a choice. Same here. Perception, how you see yourself, is a choice. If I stay there and somebody said, "Teresa, you can never be a good CEO. You can never be a good image consultant." And I listen, I sit there. Nothing happens. And I get depressed. I don't do anything about it. So life is about, you have an ambition. That's why I always ask my client, do you remember what is your goal, your ambition when you were 12 years old? Because 12 years old is a time that we start blooming, men and women. We start chasing, men start chasing girls, girls start looking at boys and that sort of thing.
12 years old. That's pretty young. I started at 30. So
We started at 12.
all right. Okay.
So basically, so many years of experience, huh?
Yeah. No wonder there are no more trees left.
So basically, it's about like, I made a choice to say, I want to go global. I want to go abroad because I want to know more. I make a choice and I was very focused. Doesn't need a lot of money. You need a lot of money, but you decided to say, okay, I'm going to save and get some contribution from family, and I am going abroad, right? So I made a choice. First is about what is your goal? So it's about my goal. I make a choice. Then, because why I want to go, I want to be more global. I want my mindset to be open up because I felt that, yeah, there's a lot of things to learn here, but I want to learn more. So people are different. That's why I say, know yourself. Know yourself, but we can as well. This is about your desire image. Self-perception is about what is your desire image? How do you want to be perceived? And how you want to be perceived, we give you the tools and the knowledge to say, I want to look like James Bond. But then I'm going to ask you, really? Why you want to be a James Bond? Then there's a lot of dialogue, just like your client come to you. You will ask her the same question. So it doesn't mean that people come to me and say, Teresa, I want to be a James Bond. I want to be Madonna. I will say, okay, I make you a Madonna because a good consultant it should be professional. You got to really tell the person the truth that why you want to be James Bond, why you want to be in Hollywood. Until I said, convince me, right? Then we help you to become a Hollywood star or movie star, that sort of thing. So that is the design image. Because I also coach many pageant queen. Pageant queen come to me and say, I want to win the crown. I say, why? What is your objective? Is it just to look good, so beautiful, and then finish? I say, because many beauty queen, they win the crown and then never heard of them. I say, the beauty queen that I train is supposed to be sustainable. That means you must know what you want to do with the crown.
Right.
Then I can give you the tools. I can coach you to win the crown, to do the best I can. No guarantee, but there will be at least 99% success if you follow, right?
Yeah.
So that is your desired image, because what you want and you really desire, and then you work with somebody who can give you the tools. And then other people's feedback. Like I am also other people. If my audience come to me, then I will give her the feedback. You know, you are like this, like this. Then also I always ask my audience, what does your husband say about you? Or what does your best friend say about you? Compare. Is there a gap? Is there a gap? And if there's a gap, why there's a gap, we analyze together. So, and then also when it comes to personal, your personal goal in life and your professional or business goal in life must align. If you say, Teresa, I want to go Italy next month, then your schedule is fully booked. Then you stress. Is that I overbook myself, so they stress. So everything must align, because many years ago there was this intellectual called Aristotle. Is it Aristotle? Aristotle once said, the ultimate aim or purpose of human life is to achieve your own happiness. He said, what you do on the outside, that means whatever you do, must be aligned with what you feel on the inside. And to him, that is true happiness.
I want to go to this part, number 5 in your book, refined speech and accent. Now, speech and communication, how important is that when it comes to putting an image out?
It's key to relationship, to likability, to trust, everything, because it is part of the image element. When I speak to someone over the phone, he can't see me, my tone of voice, the inflection, the pause, it contributes to 85% of my image, because he can't see me. All he can see is my voice.
Absolutely.
If you can see me, you can see my face. And then my tone of voice become part of me. So you can see me, you can hear me. But as well, if I speak too fast, you can see me, but you can't hear me. It doesn't make sense. So when it comes to dating, I always tell men and women, when it comes to dating, always, some people say, Teresa, I get a first date, but my date never called me back again. I said, tell me what happened, right? First, do you overdress? Some ladies overdress, they get overexcited. They wear too much of jewelry, the hair all done too much, and makeup is too much because it's overwhelming for the men, right? But the tone of voice over dinner and the facial expression is part of the communication, the eye contact. And where do you look? Where do you look as well?
Where you look depends on what she's wearing.
So the ladies, I always caution the lady, what type of date the outcome of the date, you must be cautiously package yourself. If you want for just a simple casual dinner for a not long-term relationship, you can dress anything you want just to have some fun. But if you intend to meet somebody for a long-lasting relationship, the way you package yourself, you can tell whether the opposite sex is about your beauty, is it about the way you dress, or is it more about he wants to get to know about you as a person? It tells. So basically, we basically use image consulting for dating, relationship, and for marriage. Some marriage go into trouble. We also help the spouse as well to say, okay, how do you talk to your husband? Or husband, how do you talk to you? But we don't go into detail. It's something very on the surface, but the tone of voice, because when you say to somebody very familiar to you, sometimes you raise your voice. You don't realize it. But then somebody tell you, Charles, do you know that just now your tone of voice is too strong? Oh, really? Because sometimes we're not aware. Or sometimes you say, because you already look very fierce because your eyebrow is very thick. Then maybe image consultant or some consultant say, hey, Charles, maybe you should trim your eyebrow a little bit to make you less serious, less fierce, so that you become more approachable. So basically,
Are you doing a consultation on me now?
no, we're just using as an example.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. Yeah, but it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, whole life is always the most convincing because we don't do it from the just by reading the book. Everything for me is like during my life, people talk to me. So a lot of case study actually. So in my book, I actually also write about 7 Malaysian entrepreneurs using as a case study how to become successful by me observing their image factor, right? So basically, yeah, communication is not just talking. Visual is a communication. The word choice, the way you say, Teresa, good morning, is nice. But some people will say, how do you do? That's the English way. Or the Australian will say it differently. So basically the word choice, from the word choice they use, they can tell where you're from. In Malaysia, we say always ask about, have you had your lunch or breakfast or dinner? So the word choice is sometimes when you say things to who you talk to, think carefully the word choice you say, because the higher you are, the choice of words we use is so important. Just like politicians, the presidents of company, they don't have to say so many things. They just have to come into the office. They say 2 words, everybody listens. So the word choice is also part of the communication. And body language, how do you pause? You say, good morning, sir. And then you pause. You sound more important than, good morning, sir. You don't sound so important. So communication is about effectively convey your message to the other person. So a lot of times we don't get hurt because the way we communicate.
No, I think it's powerful because these classy. At the end of the day, you want to be a classy Poise. You want to have that elegance, and you only got this one life to rock and roll, right? And so we talked about self-knowledge, awareness, how important that is in the image build-up. We talked about self-perception and how people outside perceive us. And so the last part I want to talk about is, image is all about creating opportunities for oneself. And that is when you go for an interview or you go into the corporate world, it gives a lot of opportunities just open. The doors of opportunity just open when you carry yourself well. I remember my own producer here at the back here, Mary, when she came to see me when she was 20 years old. Until today, I can still remember what she wore. Red dress, high heel shoes, red shoes, at 20. And immediately I gave her a place to work with me because I knew that she meant well and she was serious with her life. And this is how we gauge people. So is that an important point too, right? Opportunities open up when you really are really conscious of your image and how you carry it. Confidence goes with your walk.
Yes.
Right?
100%. Basically, first impression, only 2 seconds, people size up whether you're the right choice or the wrong choice. For interview, to dating, to friendship, some people look at you, they don't like you. They look at me, maybe they don't like me. Why? Split of a second. Some ladies say, oh, I don't like makeup, Teresa. Image consulting teach people makeup. I said, you don't have to make up. Image consulting is about you feel good. You must feel good how you look like. You must look tidy so that people look at you. They want to talk to you. But if you look untidy, people like, hey, maybe she doesn't want to talk to people, so they move away. So that's success. Why people can build successful relationship more than other people? Because they carefully think about their image. And that's about their personal branding, which is very famous nowadays. So it's about everywhere you go, you already have an image, you already have a brand, but it's how you push your brand forward with the right image.
Powerful.
It must align with your brand. Your brand must be authentic to your value.
Right.
It cannot be fake. Otherwise, but in the Hollywood, they're very good because the minute the screen camera switch on, they become another character. And that's why it's a very competitive market. That's a different scenario. But in the real world, you don't necessarily have to be like, if I'm angry today, doesn't mean that you have to go out there carry an angry face.
Sure.
Because it's nothing to do with the rest of the people. It's about you angry with somebody or your office or something. So image is about when you get out there, you say, okay, just now I was not happy about the way my office is going, or my car is not working or something like that. Then you say, I'm going to shift my mindset, change. So the power of success is about influence. Are you able to switch your first negative self-talk to positive so that you're going to influence the environment around you? It's an aura. When you influence the aura, you become charismatic.
Absolutely.
Charismatic, you become very likable. And that change your day. Sometimes you say, hey, Teresa, you make my day. Because we look cheerful. Like if I'm upset today, it doesn't mean that I go out there, I look upset. I must say, outside people has a lot of unhappiness. I should change the environment.
No, well done.
We become a person of influence.
Yes.
You don't need to be a president of a country to be a person of influence. Every one of us can change and make the change and be the change. That's why my motto and philosophy in my school is be the change, be part of the change, and make the change. It starts from us, from within, not outside. Within first, then you make the change from outside. Then it aligns, whatever you say become very authentic. That's building presence. When you walk into a space, in a room, everybody will say, who is that guy? He has presence. I want to know him. He's good. And that makes you feel like a person of influence, self-important, and you feel good. And that's how a lot of successful people, they understand this. It's not how expensive, how good you dress. It's not that. How about your luggage got lost when you flew to Australia, or you get lost for 3 days? You got no clothes. Well, what do? It doesn't mean that you put your confidence in a box and then you say, I'm not confident because I'm not dressed properly. No. So confidence is about your image from within. The dressing, the cosmetic is something to enhance. It's a tool.
Absolutely.
So when you need to go to a black tie gala dinner, you don't rush and call me, Teresa, I am going to black tie gala. I don't have anything to wear. So when you equip yourself with this knowledge, when you need it, you have it. So this is what we're saying.
Fantastic. Well, listen, I mean, this is a lunchtime feast of image consulting. You know, I mean, it's a wonderful take and a wonderful taste of how we can be a better version of ourselves. Certainly you spoke to me too. And for all those of you who are listening, this is the one and only Teresa Dian Chew, and she's going to give you the key. 11 habits, a lot of habits that we need to learn, but it's still worth it because each habit comes with a volume of itself. Now, Teresa, I want to close by going to do what's called a rapid fire questions, okay? And as a consultant, I'm just going to, people who are listening in, and so I'm just going to go through about 5 or 6 questions, rapid fire, and you tell me and give us the answers of what you think fits best. Do you want to look good? Or do you want to make a difference?
Make a difference.
When was the last time you let your guard down, and was it fine?
Depends on the occasion.
But when was the last time you let your guard down? Like, I'm just going to be myself, that kind of thing.
When I'm especially with people that I'm very close with,
right.
They can see the worst of me. It doesn't matter because they love me after all.
Wonderful. How comfortable are you in your own skin?
Very.
Would you feel happier if you achieve great success through a fabricated image and celebrate with many raving fans, or if you achieve some success through your authentic self and celebrate with a circle of people who accept you for who you are, which would you choose?
The second one.
Yes, of course, isn't it? Because that's you. That's Teresa Dian Chew. What benefits can you gain by allowing the world to see and connect with your vulnerability?
Can you repeat?
What benefits can you gain by allowing the world to see and connect with your vulnerability?
Well, basically, to show them that I'm just a human. I'm just like them. That I can be very vulnerable, and yet I survive.
Powerful. Finally, what would it look like if you're totally unaffected by criticism and allow your true self to express itself in the world?
Well,
What would it look like?
Yeah, it needs a balance, because if something, it must come from the trusted source. If it comes from the trusted source, basically we take it in, we analyze it, we try to improve. It depends where it comes from. But I always encourage myself and people that I know to say, any feedback, whether it's good or bad, don't jump, don't get upset. Take it in, ask, why did they say that? And from which source it comes from? So we cannot get upset all the time. We must analyze. And that's where you need a very balanced mindset, because a lot of time, if we're very easily get agitated, we lose control. So self-control is good image.
Hey, fantastic, fantastic. So are you telling all of us that even a housewife listening in, or someone who is, just at home, or homemaker, are they able to kind of like catch on to the image, environment, and the world of, looking good, feeling good?
It's about feeling good, looking good. If you don't feel good, no matter what you put on, it doesn't look good. So feeling good is the most important thing. So self-image from within is the first step. Getting to know yourself and getting back to know why, what is the purpose you are here.
Okay.
Getting to know yourself, yeah.
Well, on that note, it's a beautiful note to end this lunchtime talk and conversation with Teresa Dian Chew. Teresa, thank you very much for giving us this time. I know that how can people get onto your book? Where is it available?
It's online MPH, but they can get to me directly.
How?
By contacting me on the LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only LinkedIn?
Yeah, on my LinkedIn, I have a contact there.
All right.
On my Facebook or my WhatsApp. Yeah.
So it's what, Teresa Chew, Facebook?
Yeah. It's my Facebook is Teresa Dian Chew. Yeah, I have a mobile phone. They can WhatsApp me anytime. 012-391-6108 is my business WhatsApp.
Okay, so we'll put that on the link. So from all of us, thank you, Teresa, once again, on behalf of all of us who are organizing this lunchtime event. And for those of you who have joined us, listen to me. The key is to have that confidence that can take you through all these stormy times. And it comes from within. Because once you have caught yourself within and you're at home with yourself, that's the real self. That's the self that you were brought into this world. And there is always a better version for each one of us. So once again, thank you for joining us on Heart Talk. Thank you, Teresa, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Dr. Charles. Thank you.